again, I hope you're having an awesome day. This is Rita with Sent with Love from Rita, and I'm showing you again that color combination that we talked about on that tip of the week. This is the color combination I'm going to be working with today. So here I've placed the colors from Stampin' Up! On top of the colors in which our color combination is created by. So there it is. We have darkest green, Tranquil Tide, then Pear Pizzazz, lightest pink, it's powder pink, and our next color, which has an orangey pink to it, Flirty Flamingo, and then Calypso Coral. And that's the colors that we're going to use today in creating a card from Hello Friend. And I'm excited to get started, but I just wanted to show you how sometimes using a color combination, it really helps us to create something beautiful. Let's get started. For our first step, we're going to be using the Stamparatus, and we're going to be using that background stamp. And I have some watercolor paper here. And so we're just going to Versamark this magnet. There we go. And so in Versamarking it, we're going to cause an emboss resist on this paper. And then we're going to use those colors in order to create a really beautiful pattern here. I want to somewhat cover this whole card. It's not going to completely cover, but we're going to just at least create a background. We're going to be covering up that background with other things, one being the wreath that's from this stamp set. So we won't really see the fact that this isn't completely perfect, but we do want to have this pattern all over the card. Your eye is not going to see all of the details as to how this comes together, but now you can see that the embossing is on there. And we're going to do emboss resist with some of those pretty colors that we chose. So let's get started. So taking the aqua painter, we'll just add a little water to, I used a plastic because I had a cube, a little mini ink spot. And so this is going to be our darkest color. We're going to put that right in the center here. And this is watercolor paper, so it can handle the water. I did try this first with regular paper, and it did not handle the water. So you do not want to do that. This watercolor paper is how it will blend beautifully together as well. So it's still going to be very soft. Of course, I do have a little baby wipe. You can also use paper towel, wet paper towel if you want. This has a pinkier tone to it. This is Flirty Flamingo. That first one again was Calypso Coral. Now I can take a little baby wipe to that edge. Try to pull the excess off. But we do want that to start to bleed together. And now the third color is our beautiful powder pink. I'm thinking I'm going to come back in here with Calypso Coral. No, Flirty Flamingo. Let's get that in here. Now, do you notice that the eye does not look at the pattern to see if we did it perfectly? So that's how we get away with that. And also we will be adding something on top. All right, so again, it's art. And so you just have liberties to put the color where you want it. Maybe get a little darker right in this corner again. Gorgeous. I am really thrilled about that. Now, letting it dry is imperative. It's blending together. Okay, so we'll put that aside for a moment. Make sure your edges all are gorgeous, because we are going to be using this whole card. All right, let that dry. So this is the color that it turned into over time after it dried. Very, very lovely. And you can see that emboss resist on there. Okay, let's move forward now, and we are going to create the wreath that's going to go on there. So that's part of this set of stamps, this beautiful wreath. And because I want to choose my colors on this wreath, I'm going to use little mini ink pads. And here's the fussy cut version of this wreath. And let's just remove this Stamparatus. It was very lovely to work with. And bring in our beautiful background paper and setting that on there. You can begin to see the loveliness of that. And because I really don't like the white on there, give this wreath a center and then fussy cut the interior from there. So in order to give some color to this wreath, more so than just the stamp itself, I just really didn't like how white it left it. I'm coming back in with the mossy meadow, and I'm just taking my sponge dauber and just bringing in some more color so that your eye doesn't just hit that. I also want to bring in some pear pizzazz. Wipe this off a little bit and bring in a little of that tone too, because of course we will have a more artistic look about our wreath if we have some two tones of the green. With our set, we get this little cluster of different flowers. You don't have to stamp them all at once. You can just use your little ink spot and put the color on that you want for the different flower that you want. So we're going to start with this tiniest little flower first. And I'm going to do that in my darkest color of the Calypso Coral. And then we can just come in here and put a pretty little flower there. Now I'll put a bigger one right in there. Okay, Flirty Flamingo, and do the same. But this time I'm going to go for the center one. Give a little softer tone. All right, that's going to be embellished a little bit more at our final end of the card when we put it all together. So now I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, and I have an idea that I will share with you. In our set, we have a sentiment that says hello and one that says friend. So what I'm going to do is set this up so that this is totally straight and aligned. I'm coming in here with the layering ovals, and that's going to cut this out. So I want to be sure to place hello and friend within that. So let's get this in place, and then we'll just shut the door of this Stamparatus, and we'll get that set so it won't budge. I think that looks pretty even. We're just going to use that piece of paper that we cut the wreath out of so that we don't waste anything. And I'd like to do hello in a pink and the friend in a green. I'm going to come in here with the green and just get that. That's where these little inks really work nice. And then we'll do Calypso Coral for the hello. Just close the door on there. The nice part about the Stamparatus is that if you don't feel you got as much ink on it as you would like, you can come back again. See, I'm not happy with the density of that, so I'm going to come back again, and it just stays beautifully set on that door. I'm bringing in my lemon lime twist, and I think that's just going to be very lovely, again with that floral. And I've talked about that I love floral and stripes, and the little glue dots are going to work the best on this. And what I want to do is have a little bit of it twisted and then setting right behind that hello friend like this on the card. So I put 4 dimensionals so that one could go right here in this little half circle, and they could all fit around that ribbon but keep the ribbon within that sentiment like that. And then I did do dimensionals on the wreath, but what I want to do, I'm bringing in powder pink, and I'm just going to softly give this a little bit more color. So this is the final version of this card, and I have added a lot of sparkle. I always love to have sparkle and color kind of splattered all over. There was kind of a dull area right here, and then some sequins that we have to embellish with this melon color. And also I had this one from a paper pumpkin for the green that you can see in there. And then also I do have the Nuvo drops, and they are not sold by Stampin' Up, but they really add a lot of dimension for me. And I put that on my wreath, as you can see here in the dark. So there's some sequins and some Nuvo drops on there. I did add the pearl inside the sequins from our embellishments on that. And so I hope you really like this card. I actually did some on the inside as well, bringing in that stamp. I just put it in the corner, and then the other sentiment that comes with the stamp set. Thank you for being you. It gives nice continuity to have some elements from your stamp set on the inside of your card as well as the outside of your card. I hope you like this card. I really love the way it turned out. It has those soft peachy pink tones with those green tones from my color combination tip of the week. And so you have an awesome day, and send some love, and grab that stamp set before it's gone, because this is going out of the line, and it just has these simple things that can make just a really elegant card, and I really loved it. You can do any color combinations with that, and you'll just love sending that with love. Okay, God bless you. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.